Hey, everybody. Welcome to the latest episode of the Bronx Muchachos podcast brought to you by Five Reasons, Sports Network. I'm your host, Mark, and we got Alex.
Hello, everybody.
And we got David.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Fire.
Well, yeah. We're coming. We've been doing these every night after the games, and I think everyone with the late night of last night and just needed everything to kind of sink in and everyone kind of absorb what happened in this ungodly, stupid postseason that we just had. It was better off that we decided to have this recording on, of course, on none other than David's birthday, Mr. 36-year-old himself there. So happy birthday for this one, bud.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. What birthday? What a birthday present, right? I mean, we couldn't get on least win a game. No. Happy birthday to me. This team just self-implodes on itself. I know you guys thought I was crazy after game one saying we were screwed, and yet here we are after 4 games. 50 strikeouts in 4 games is not going to get the job done. Having a rotating door at the leadoff and shortstop is not going to win you ball games. This is a complete travesty. Since 2015, we've lost to the same team 3 times in 6 years to go to the World Series, and 4 out of the last 7 overall. This is ridiculous. 2015, you lose the wild card game to Houston. 2016, you don't even make the playoffs. 2017, you lose the ALCS to Houston. 2018, to the Red Sox. 20, the DS to the Rays. And then 21, the wild card game to the Red Sox. And then here we are again, losing the LCS to yet again the Houston friggin' Astros. This has got to stop. How do you keep running into the same team year after year after year and not have an answer for it? This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Us as fans deserve better. The fans don't pay millions of dollars a year to go see a dumpster fire on the field. We don't go to these games every year to see them succeed during the regular season and then totally shit the bed in the playoffs. We don't. You don't go and pay $11 a beer to see this. And it needs to stop. Honestly. If Aaron's in this, then it's time to walk away. Let someone else take this team over. GM held accountable at some point. How many times are you going to keep doing the same damn thing with the same damn players? Or Hal just needs to sell the team. Bottom line, either get the right people in place that deserve to be in place or sell the team. I mean, Mark, you sent me this graphic about the Astros, the top brass of the Astros. A lot of them are fresh faces. Our guy, Brian Cashman's been around since Ronald Reagan was the president. Some of the people have been in these front office positions since the Bush administration. Something's got to change. And I'll get off the soapbox. Damn, dude. You can't win a game. You can't just win a game. And then we're looking to the 2004 Boston Red Sox for inspiration. Are you kidding me? If you got to be motivated to win a game, you have no pride. I'm sorry, but that's just the facts. That'd be like the Red Sox looking to 1986 for inspiration to go win a game. 1978 when Dent hit the home run off Mike Torres. Get real. Just God.
That's today's episode, everybody. Good night. No, I'm messing. No, but you're
sorry,
right.
Man. My blood's been boiling since last night, dude. I've had it. I've absolutely had it.
Don't worry. I'm over here looking at Twitter did they fire Boone yet? Oh no, I'm getting trolled over by other people. I'm like, dang it. I want him fired already. But yeah, that's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna go here or there on that because the guy just had an extension unless they want to throw money into the garbage can. But it is what it is on that. But yeah, this team was horrible.
Fire.
Like this team was horrible. Like they were 21 for 130 this whole entire series. Okay, that's a 162 average for the whole team. Like, yeah, we had a couple of people that were good, but most of this team was trash. Like, oh wow, Mr. Man who wants to get paid all this money. Hey, cool. You don't do anything in the postseason. Sorry. Like, as much as Dave, Mark, Danny, you guys want to keep him forever, I'm down with that. But you got to produce in the playoffs, and he has not produced in the playoffs. So I'm not for the man going to give him all this money. And it's like, oh, well, he's going to walk to some team that's going to be like minor team that hasn't been in the playoffs forever. Fine, go to some team that hasn't gone to the playoffs forever. Help them make it to the playoffs. I don't care. Yankees always make it to the playoffs. All I care about is one thing: the World Series ring, and we're not getting that. If he doesn't, if he can't get it with the Yankees, he can't get it. I don't care. Like I am absolutely done. I'm done with Boone. Like the minute Nestor messed up and in that pitch where he landed wrong on his where he landed wrong on his ankle and then it went up to his groin and all that kind of stuff. Instead of like, are you good? You should have been like, hey man, you're injured, you're out. We're doing it right now because you know what? Let them in. What happened? The tie game. Like, come on, I'm done,
Dude,
I am done.
The mileage an hour, the speed differential on the pitch before and the pitch after he tweaked his groin. The pitch before was at 91 miles an hour. The pitch that got hit out for the home run by Pena was at 88. It was a batting practice fastball that he hit.
Forget
out
that
into
part.
left field.
Forget that part, though. Forget that part, Dave. Let's be real. In the top of the first, I legitimately wrote it down. Nestor needs to sharpen up. Because he did not look like Nestor should have looked at a do or die situation. I'm sorry. Okay, It's like, did we do great in the bottom of the first by almost everybody hitting except for the usual suspects? Come on. Like, I'm tired of it. Like, Donaldson, he's the black hole of this damn team. Like, you go to him, you know what you're going to get. You're getting a donut. He's going to be donut for whatever for the night.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here with that. Okay? What? I mean, if the Yankees would have won last night, Rizzo's the MVP. Why? Because he's the only one who actually had a pair last night that was actually playing like they were actually fighting to stay in the damn game. Like, I'm sorry.
Him and Bader.
I am effing tired. Like, yeah, Bader did good, but I'm sorry. Rizzo, that play that he did at the end, what was it? The 8th, 9th that he did, okay, to for that double play, that was outstanding. Like, it could have just been a 1-out, but he threw it. He had the awareness to go for the double play at third. Like, that was awesome. Like, no one in this team felt like they were Yankees. Nah. I don't want to even hear this. I wish Danny was here, and I wish he was here to give all the excuses he wanted to give right now, because right now I am so pissed off with this team. So pissed off. Like the heart that Philly has right now going into this as the underdog that they went in, that's how the Yankees should have been going into this. But they didn't, because they don't have the heart.
No, I get exactly what you're saying, and it's tough to have this kind of talk after this kind of loss, because it's more demoralizing than Game 3. Game 3, we got shut out, and that was once again Boone becoming small in the big moments. Taking Cole out too early. Shouldn't have taken him out. Even Cole was wondering why he was being taken out. Tonight, or I should say last night, Nestor gets injured and he pieces it together. Wandy didn't do too bad. Loizaga came back to form. You had a bunch of guys came in there. Clay Holmes pitched well, but it still goes back to the problem. Our pitching went well for the most part. There has been, with the a few glaring exceptions of Game 3 when Judge decided it was a smart move to run it and cast a shadow in front of Bader so he couldn't see the ball coming into his glove. And then last night when Glaber and IKF couldn't figure out how to turn a double play. Torres might have been a wide throw, but if you have a actual shortstop, not a stopgap, and an inferior shortstop in IKF who should never have seen the light of day at shortstop, that they would have gotten the lead runner at minimum.
Yeah, no, 100%. I get where you're coming from on that. On the whole IKF, but I'm sorry. More of the blame has to on that one has to go on Glaber for his like. Oh my
It
gosh,
was
let me rush it for no. Like I get that we got Pena coming, that he's a speed demon, but you know what? You know what you've been playing with. You've been playing with this man all season long. You're gonna act like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to play with this guy now. Get out of here. Get out of here. You had 162 games to learn how to get in connection with your shortstop. You couldn't do it in 162 games. I'm sorry. I'm not going to put all the blame on IKF. I'm going to put the blame on Glaber as well because he should have known better.
They both get the blame, but a shortstop would have made that play. IKF is not a shortstop, and this goes back to the bigger problem that I had was that they claim that IKF is the stopgap shortstop for the year. So we've gone through 2020. 2021, now 2022, got 3 years with not a shortstop playing one of your most important positions. When you have a shortstop, one of your many shortstops ready right now to go up and play. And what they do? September 1st, they bring up Peraza, sit him, and they don't use him, and they don't use him, and they don't use him, and they bring him in here and there. He bats in a small sample size, over 300 with one home run in a shorter time than it took IKF to hit his first home run for the season. Then comes the postseason, and after what 3 games you had to remove IKF from being shortstop. After game 1 of the LCS, you have to remove IKF from being shortstop. You have keep hearing that there was internal fights going on in the Yankees Stadium over whether or not to put IKF back at shortstop for game 4. If you're having these fights at your shortstop position, all right, you're captain of the infield. That means no matter what happens, you should not have him there. And to turn around before in the middle of this and saying Donaldson's good, he's going to be playing third base for me, while consistently striking out, consistently not even making an attempt to have a good at bat. When you can put that same type of at bat, give it to IKF and move him over to third base where he's had a gold glove before from that position, means that one, Boone doesn't have his finger on the pulse of this team. That's the first and foremost thing, that he is managing because he wants to manage a certain way, or is told to manage a certain way. Doesn't have a pulse for what's going on in the clubhouse, or that might take it too far in that regard. But doesn't have finger on the pulse on what's going on, and manages because he does not have to worry about it because he has job security. Boone's coming back next year. You know that already. Brian Cashman, it's already been said, Brian Cashman's going to be brought back next year. So, though that's in place, you're going to have the same. They don't know what they're going to do with the front office because they need to make changes in the front office. They need player development. They need better player development. They need more.
They need to fix the
assistant
analytics,
GMs. They need forward thinking. You can't have, as Dave was pointing out, Brian Cashman has been around since the Reagan administration. Yeah, that was when he was an intern. Then he moved up scouting and through the ranks that way. You still have guys from the Bush administration. You had guys that brought in at the beginning of the Obama administration. Come on, that's over 14 years ago. You got to they have to get with the times, and they're not getting with the times right now. They're still using old analytics to try to beat teams that are doing new age thinking. And guess what? We're an antiquated team in a digital society. That's what the Yankees are right now. They're analog. They're an analog team.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't tell me that's going to work. Yeah, I'll give everyone this. Having DJ not batting when DJ injured and having Benintendi injured hurts you, but DJ was your roving infielder. He was playing every position there. Benintendi was here for from the end of July, August, and then beginning of September he was injured.
He was here for 2 months.
What is that?
2 months.
It's about 2 months, right? So what did we really? Did you really lose anything without having Benintendi? Did you lose any? You lost more DJ, but everyone else knew to step up. If you see, Dave, you're in a position of when you see something, you got to act upon it. Same with you, Alex. If you see there is a problem, do you continually put the same lineup out there? Do you continually put the same people in the same position to fail, or do you put them in a position to succeed? Even if it's not where their prize spot.
Put him to succeed.
If it's
I
not
know where
working,
you.
why the hell are you going to keep doing it?
I mean, I think I know where you're coming with this one, and it's like I think the move. If you're thinking about the move that I agree with, the move that they should have done was they should have just sat Donaldson down and put IKF right there to third, and then they could have moved anything around. Let's be real.
That's exactly the move. I think, and mind you, I get why they didn't do that, because they had already screwed up the beginning. You had played Peraza. I'm sorry, not Peraza. You played Cabrera in the outfield, and he did well. Did really, really well. And that's something I look forward to seeing a lot more of in the future. Especially, is there a chance he becomes the left fielder? Maybe not next year. I think he's going to be the super utility guy to kind of pick, rove around a lot. But you bring up your number 3 shortstop, top 50 minor leaguer in Peraza, and you sit him for a week at a time. You get him one at bat here, one at bat, one game here, one game there, and then you sit him again. Who is it? And mind you, the guy is we all here on this podcast have said from the middle of the year, we've all said he is a much better defender. Mm-hmm. He brings more thump in the bat, and you seem like everyone trusted him more than IKF. Mm-hmm. Yet nobody that
IKF was hitting home runs when he was playing in third. It's like it was like relief came out of him, and he was actually playing baseball.
That's what I'm saying. That goes back to goes back to a trickle down from the top to the bottom, and at some point, someone has to be held accountable for it. You want to talk here? You want to? Here's a crazier thought. Remember this after the 2017 series. That's when we let go of Girardi, brought Aaron Boone in here. Mm-hmm. What was the first move that Cashman made? He made the trade for Giancarlo Stanton. And Stanton's done well for us, but in the long term, instead of making that deal, if he held on to everything to an LCS team that he had and tinkered with it from there, we had the opportunity the next offseason to get Bryce Harper or Manny Machado. Instead, they didn't even give Bryce Harper a look and told him that, you play the way you play, you're too injury prone and we can't accept that. And told Machado, we can only offer you a 3-year or a 4-year deal. Those two positions right now those two guys would have had stellar positions and would have been such an improvement over what we had at third base or at some points in the outfield.
And because
Harper would have played first base for you. He would have played right field. He would have played center. He would have played left field. He would have done whatever you asked.
And let's be real, Mark. We know Bryce wanted to be a Yankee.
Oh yeah,
it was out there. It was known for everybody.
He would every time the Phillies would play the Yankees, he would turn around, shave his beard, and turn around just to show them this is how I look clean shaven. Machado turned around and goes, "I want to come here." Machado is what has always been close to A-Rod, and that might have been the reason why the Yankees didn't want to give Machado anything because of his closeness and his friendship to A-Rod. But Machado wanted to be Yankee, and he would have gladly stayed at third base to be Yankee. He didn't have to. He wasn't going to go to shortstop. He would have played third base there. These are simple moves, especially with how much those guys cost. I said combined they're like 54 or 52 to $55 million. Yeah, that's exactly
$56 million.
That's what Donaldson, IKF, and Chapman cost this year.
Hicks. It was Chapman, Hicks, and Donaldson.
Yeah. So,
way to go.
Yeah. That's
all I know.
That's the type of thought. Those are the thoughts I have on that because that is something that comes from the top down, and that was in addition that was also a HOU move because HOU said, we have to pay Aaron Judge, so we're not going to sign anybody else that's important. Well, Bryce Harper is going to the World Series now, putting the team on his back, performing in the playoffs, and
literally,
I'm gonna start beating the drum of my girl's little hair ties and say, let's trade Glaber and let's get rid of Donaldson.
What are you going to get him for? You're going to get him for a bag of rocks?
Right now, I'll take a Big Mac from McDonald's. Okay.
Let me.
This kind of conversation. Well, hold on one second, Dave. I'll swing it to you in a second. But that conversation right there, Alex, I'm sure we're gonna have plenty of those.
Exactly. This is the stir of it all. It's coming. Don't worry.
I mean, just to think about what this team would look like had they signed Machado and Harper, you would have Rizzo, Machado, Harper, and Judge Stanton, because that trade probably doesn't go down. That lineup would just be ridiculous. And that when the Nationals came to Yankee Stadium to play the year before he went to Philly, he was literally taking grounders at first base. He was literally throwing himself at the Yankees organization. They're like, but and one other thing I just want to touch on, I see this in the chat on YouTube. Luis, thanks for checking in, man. Like, look, I'm just gonna say this straight up right now. Do I think the Astros cheated? No. Do us Yankees fans give Astros a lot of crap for banging trash cans? Yeah, you did it with it. You're not getting away from it. Sorry, it's here to stay. But do I think Houston cheated? No. Want to know why? Because of Dusty Baker. Dusty Baker has a lot of pride in what he does, and I
make it clear you mean these Astros, not Astros in general.
Yeah, no, yes.
The 2022 Astros. Yeah, the 2022.
Yeah, make that clear out there, before.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm lagging a little bit, so give me like 2 or 3 minutes for what I'm saying to get out there. Luis puts in the chat, do you think Houston Astros were cheating? No, the Houston Astros weren't cheating. The Yankees couldn't hit a friggin' beach ball if it was thrown at them. And let's be honest, Justin Verlander, even though he's almost 40 years old, is still nasty as hell. Framber Valdez, nasty. Christian Javier, nasty. Lance McCullers, still kind of on the fence, but still nasty. Like, you went up against those 4 guys and you couldn't even, like, score that many runs. Like, that's not cheating. That's just the other team not coming prepared to play. Like, can we as a fan base just agree that we got outpitched? Out plain and simple. We got outpitched and we couldn't hit. That's why we lost.
We got outplayed.
And we died with Josh Johnson as our third baseman. That's
defensively, I don't care
about that.
Defensively, Josh Donaldson, I'm fine with playing third base. It's more along the lines of him at bat, where he was. I guess the entire season he was guessing for pitches and he wasn't getting them. He couldn't hit a fastball and then let every single breaking ball or pitch down the middle go by, and everything that was hittable he chose not to swing at. So,
I got to propose. Hey, Mark, I got to propose it for you. Let's make a new rule in baseball. Okay, it's the Josh Donaldson rule. It's kind of like football. He could play offense. He could play defense, but he's not allowed to play offense ever.
Well, we have the opposite rule where you play offense only and you play defense.
Hey, I'm for real.
The rules in place against stuff like that. Just saying.
It's a joke. It's not going to happen, Dave. If you're really thinking that's going to happen, come on. I got a bridge to sell you.
You have a designated fielder.
We're gonna have a lot of these talks in the offseason and trade scenarios, who we should go for, who we shouldn't go for. But I want to say this one thing. I think going forward, that anytime that Brian Cashman picks up the phone to talk to Billy Beane for a trade, he should have like a buzzer around his wrists or like something, or electric shock like you do with the dogs, and it just goes off and shocks him. Because this is the second time we've had a big trade for a pitcher that hasn't worked out and doesn't. Hopefully Montos comes back next year and works out for him. But I don't know. I think there's this big kryptonite that we have besides the Astros, but making deals with Oakland that just doesn't work out in our favor ever.
So, I wouldn't say Brocious.
Yeah, but
Scott Brocious didn't come from the Athletics for Kenny Rogers. So, I mean, it did kind of work out for us, at least one in the last 30 years.
Yeah, but you know what? I will say this. Instead of they shouldn't have made the deal for Montos. They should have made the deal for Sean Murphy instead, and that would solve their catcher problem, too. Get a Gold Glove catcher and offensive catcher at the same time. Dual threat. Boom.
Well,
I like
here's the-
I
Trevino.
mean,
I
they
like
could have
Trevino a
gotten
lot too,
Chris
but
Bassett and Sean Manaea, but we decided to get their third best pitcher.
yeah,
I
I don't
say that
think.
in
But I don't think.
quotation
I don't think
marks.
Manaea is not that good. I mean, he wasn't even the rotation for the Padres. So when you had Montas was Frankie Montas was your guy that was going to be your number one. Bassett was going to be the number two. So in essence, I get why they made the. I'm talking. We're talking out of the rear ends right now, but I get why they made the deal for Frankie Montas, because he's got ace caliber stuff. He was injured, and you try to put a guy out there who's been injured the entire time, and it doesn't work out. They should have known better, is what I'm saying. And instead of wasting those pieces on that pitcher, they could have taken those same trade chips, maybe taken a lesser guy out, and put someone else in there instead, and you get yourself a position of real need, which is catcher.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing I found out that's a little bit of a good news for us. Teams to sweep the DS and the LCS in the same year are the Rockies, the Royals, and now the Astros. Both the Rockies and Royals are World Series losers, so at least we got that to look forward to. Go Phillies!
Yeah, I hope Philly cleans their clock. I really do.
It's gonna be funny. I don't think the Astros as players are ready for Philly, because Philly fans are like Yankee fans in World Series, especially when that city is hot. Like, their fan base is ruthless.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they're insane. They're out of their mind.
And I love it. I love it. That's what I love about that. That's one thing I love about them.
So according to Brendan Cuddy, Brendan Cuddy predicts that the Yankees are going to re-sign Judge on a 6-year, $270 million contract for average of $45 million a year.
We'll see.
Whatever. I'm not even going to get into there. See what happens. See where the poker chips lie on that one.
I was about to get into it, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna leave this one alone.
No, I just whatever. If he stays with the team, that's great. I mean, there's so many other problems that they need, but I think as a fan base, we can fully agree upon this, that the era of the baby bombers that everybody here was all excited for is officially done. Officially done. No more talk about them until we start referring to the next group, which should include Peraza, should include Cabrera, should include Wells, should include Volpe, should include Dominguez, and possibly Spencer Jones too, because they have something. If those guys all hit, which there's a possibility that majority of them are going to hit, then you have something actually special on this team. But that's for another time, another place.
Yeah.
I have an interesting stat that my uncle just sent over to me. In the last 22 seasons, Brian Cashman has spent $4.6 billion to win one championship.
Hey Brian, why don't you send me a little 2% of that, please? Just 2%.
2%.
4.6 billion in 22 years for one title. Talk about fraud, waste, and abuse, man. Holy shit.
I don't even. It's all corporation.
Insane.
All corporations. Everything that's corporated. You could just look at all the fraud.
Tax write-offs. Donations.
Don't worry. They're going to give
that.
turkeys to some kids. They're going to give turkeys and Thanksgiving to kids, and they say that cost them a couple of $1 billion.
Yeah.
Why do you
Brian Cashman will go climb up a couple of buildings and call it a day? Yeah, there you go.
Why do you think the prices at Yankee Stadium go up so much all the time?
Yeah, it's a grift.
I mean, they don't. Let's be real. Let's be real. The organization, they don't even care about the average fans. They care more about these rich people that are coming into the stadium that are going to pay all this extravagant money for the experience at Yankee Stadium. I'm sorry, it's a baseball game. You're at a baseball game, guys. You could go to your little kid's T-ball game, and it's like, oh, I'm at a baseball game. Come on, get out of here. I'm done. I'm done with the high expenses that Yankee State, that House Steinbrenner and that whole organization has done for a regular working man fan. Like, get out of here.
And they still scream that they're broke. Like,
They're
I
not
don't get it.
broke.
You make
They're not.
billions.
If they're so broke, sell the team. If you're so
Fact.
strapped for money, sell it. Oh, you're not strapped for money because you're making bukus of it.
I don't know. I got nothing else to say. Like, yeah.
Alex, if you're good to go, I think this is a perfect time to shut it all down.
I guess so. Yeah. My final words: 2022 Yankees starts off great, ends up a disappointment.
Yeah. So, just wanted to say, you know, nearly the first year we've been doing this, the support's been overwhelming. This first year was a hell of a ride for us on this podcast. We reached 15 different countries in 50 weeks, which is amazing. We didn't think we were going to get that kind of reaction when we started this thing out. So to everyone that's been following us, tweeting for us, retweeting our stuff, promoting us, supporting us, we thank you. Got to work with some amazing players, Baseball and Beer, Chris and Scott, James Zeiss, Section 420 Talking Yanks, Jeremy Lara Quente, Baseball Banter. Go check those guys out. Show them some love. They've been showing us love. Katie Sharp, Sweeney Murdy, Brandon Lockridge. Thanks to all you for coming on the show, making this what it was. And we're probably going to go back to our regular scheduled programming in the next couple of weeks or whatever. But stay tuned for that. But for everyone that was following us doing these post games, that was complete chaos. Thank you. And we'll talk to you when we talk to you. Bronx Muchachos, signing off.